going on right now. Gina Loudon, Joe Lestingi on that tax debate, because that is the battle royale, right? I mean, we have so few people who are actually paying members of society, more than 45% who are not paying income taxes at all. Now, they pay other taxes, but Gina, what he's saying is that is not a constructive environment for any country. Do you buy that?
Of course, Neil. You know my background's in psychology. This is simple Pavlovian politics. It's incentivizing what the government's real agenda is and disincentivizing the opposite of that. When you pay people not to work, you're going to have more people not working. It really doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out.
All right, but you have a number of candidates who've issued tax plans, if you think about it, Joe, that call for still more not paying any income taxes. That is Donald Trump. I think his cutoff is at couples making up to $50,000, which would add 75 million who wouldn't be paying at least income taxes. What do you make of that, and whether some are sending the wrong message, or maybe they're being realistic about it? To Trump's point, it's an administrative nightmare to try to make sure they are all paying something. What do you think?
Absolutely. And here's the thing. We all want to lower taxes, but we got to make sure they're in the right places. And I think that's where the candidates, especially on the Republican side, are struggling. If you watched the debate last week, you saw that there were people who had a whole bunch of exemptions they wanted to keep in, and then people who wanted to get rid of all exemptions. And the plan on the right now is that there is no clear plan, and that's what they've got to solve. Tax rates in this country are still pretty good overall. And here's the thing. If you're paying taxes, you're making money. You're always going to take money home. If you're living off the government, you're not going to get rich, and no one wants to be there. That's near poverty levels. So to have the psychology of, well, if I get paid to not work, then I'm going to not work is almost I disagree with the premise, because that's poverty, and no one wants to live in poverty.
You know, guys,
I can make more money if I work.
Pick your brain a little bit on this deal the president just signed, as expected, this 2-year budget deal that suspends the debt ceiling for a couple of years, and that it's a sign of good things to come, saying that it shows the two parties could work together, it's a constructive development, et cetera, et cetera. Gina, you're wondering what he's smoking.
Yeah, I'm wondering what a lot of those folks in D.C. are smoking, Neil. And I don't know how anyone can say that our current tax rate is good. Our current tax rate is choking our economy. You can you can fake it with lowered interest rates and other things that make it look like we're doing a lot better than we are. But all you have to do is look at, for example, new college graduates and their rates of employment, real employment, like in their field kind of employment. You can look at any minority population across the United States and see that there is something definitely wrong. There is no one watching this presidential debate that isn't looking to see what they're going to do for the economy, because our economy is a mess right now, and no numbers, no fake numbers out of Washington, D.C. change what real people are experiencing.
Joe, the argument for getting this deal done is it takes at least some of the heat off both parties to focus on bigger issues. I think Paul Ryan said to work on immigration reform, but ironically not with this president. So how much does it take off the table?
Well, I'll tell you this, and as a business owner, and as most of your viewers out there are very educated on this issue, when you walk away from the table and neither party's happy, you've got a good deal, and that's what happened here. No one's happy with this deal outright, but it does keep the government open and functioning, which is priority number one of Congress, something they've had trouble doing. But if you look at all the parts of the plan where the left and the right got some things that were good for what they saw the vision in the future of this country being, defaulting on our debts is the worst thing that we can do, and that's something we will never do.
That would not have been a given. I know what the fear was that if they were to do that, but I think
I mean, we've held a gun to that head for a long time. We got to quit doing that. That's not a game to play.
I mean, running and with the government shutdown doesn't mean automatic default. But having said that, Gina, I mean, you do get a 2-year moratorium on this, but you're worried about what they do in the interim, right?
Yeah, and let's be realistic. Can we please stop fantasizing about what a government shutdown actually means? A government shutdown doesn't really mean that anything substantial happens. No one's ever gone without a paycheck during a government shutdown. We've shut down the government
no, that's not
lots
true.
And lots of times under many presidents. It is true.
No, it's not. My family works for the federal government. We did not get a paycheck.
The only person robbed when the government is not shut down, or at least when the leverage of the possibility of the government being shut down isn't removed. The only people hurt by that are the taxpayers. The real people who are not happy from this deal are the taxpayers. You know it and I know it.
All right. Well, we don't know. We don't know, because for the bottom line now, it's extended 2 years. We'll see what happens. But some people are saying it's specious math. Others are saying it gives us a 2-year reprieve. Bottom line, it's signed, sealed, and done. All right. In the meantime, you've heard about these E. coli